Alright, and welcome to episode 19 of What is Hitman Roulette. Today we're going to be talking about Mendoza. This is, by a country mile, my least favorite map in the trilogy. No question about it. I know I've bitched a lot about Dartmoor in the past, especially in these videos. I don't like Dartmoor for roulettes, as I've specified many a time before. But with Mendoza, I don't like this map as a whole. At least with Dartmoor, I can enjoy it for the atmospheric tone. I can enjoy it for contracts if I liked contracts. I can enjoy it for the occasional Sasso, Endeavor, stuff like that. But when it comes to Mendoza, roulettes, contracts, Sasso, it doesn't matter. This map sucks. It's just not fun for me. I don't really enjoy it in any way. For any style of gameplay, there's a lot of problems with this map that go way beyond just my opinion. My opinion is this map sucks, but the general consensus of the community, and just as a matter of fact, this map is a fucking mess. It has a lot of problems, okay? You've got your wall hacks in the villa. It's just, the villa is covered in wall hacks. It's just like the villa in Haven Island, maybe to a slightly lesser extent. But I don't know how many times I've been wall-hacked while drowning Don Yates by one of the frickin' mercenaries standing on the stairs there. I don't know how many times his wife has seen me KO the guy while he was in the bathroom. There's just ridiculous amounts of wall hacks in the villa that should not be there. It's insane, especially since this is a full-on map that was released with the game. It wasn't a DLC, so if it was a DLC map, I could see a couple of kinks being needed to be worked out, but it's a frickin' map that came with the game on launch date, so you'd think they would have worked out all the bugs, but they didn't. So it's a bit of a shit show in that regard. On top of that, you've got broken-ass exit spawn points. You've got 12 seconds that you must wait after you've completed killing both targets, and right before the exit is available and ready for the taking, you need to wait 12 seconds. There's none of this 3-second shit that is in every other map in the entire fucking trilogy. Now, 12 seconds Mendoza exclusive special. Enjoy, bon appetit. Have fun doing a light explosive weapon kill on Tamara Vidal when she's on the flower bed and you KO'd her and that little shit. And you put a fucking bomb right next to her. You blow her up and then you're waiting at the exit. Have fun not having her body be found right before you hit exit. Fuck this map, dude. It's garbage. So 12 seconds? That's insane. I mean, usually it takes like 13, 14 seconds for a guard to find Vidal's body, or find a target's body that you've blown up, right after the explosion is done, because they stand around with their thumb of their ass with their guns out for a little bit, just freaking out for a few seconds. That happens around 8 seconds, and then they go and run for it, and find the target, and, find the body and fuck you over. But with 12 seconds, you're really cutting it close. So if you screw up with the inputs of exiting, you're going to lose Silent Assassin. You got to restart the whole thing. I have been screwed over by the 12-second exit spawns a couple of times when playing roulette spins on this map, just because of loud explosive weapon kills on Tamara Vidal. More or less, it's just with her. But still, it's bad enough of an issue that it needs to be dealt with, and they've never dealt with it, and that pisses me off. The exits themselves, I mean, you've got one exit that's a tango exit. You just get into the middle of the dance floor. You need to be wearing a specific suit that needs to be nice enough so that you can dance with Diana. Otherwise, she won't dance with you because she's a pretty little bitch. Anyways, you gotta wear a frickin' suit that's perfect for the dancing occasion. Get downstairs, dance with Diana in the middle of the dance floor, and you gotta wait out this cutscene, right? And the dancing sequence takes about 45 seconds-ish, something like that. And in that amount of time, a lot of shit can go down. I have witnessed players get ripped after they've exited the friggin' map. Perfect, flawless victory, no problems at all. 30 seconds into the dancing cutscene, where you cannot skip, that shouldn't even exist. It should just, whatever. A body gets found. And you'd think it would be okay because they're theoretically out of the map already, right? But no. The body gets found, they exited and started the dance routine with perfect 5 stars, Silent Assassin, green guns, and then 30 seconds later a body gets found. There's nothing they can fucking do about it because they're sitting there dancing, watching this fucking cutscene. And it's like, what the hell were they thinking with this freaking garbage? I know that roulette is not necessarily a mainstream way to play Hitman, and the devs don't really factor it into their gameplay mechanics when they make this game. But for fuck's sakes, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, I've seen it happened to Frody7, I think was the most recent. Frody, my homie, everybody's homie. Everybody knows Frody. Dude is pretty much the best player in the world. He got fucked over by this cutscene. It was unbelievable. I couldn't even watch that shit. I got pissed off for him watching this. A, because, you know, I love Frody, and B, but don't tell him I said that because that's gross. And B, because friggin' the map sucks ass, and it's like, there you go. There's more evidence that we needed to show exactly how much, like, oh, I couldn't have, like, made this better myself. I feel like an Italian chef doing that Italian kiss when Frody ripped there. Like, oh, pièce de résistance. What a beautiful fucking creation you guys did, IO Interactive. Great fucking job with this map. What a shitty ass exit. Oh my god. So you have that shit happening. You have garbage stash points all over the map. Like, 2 of them are viable. The rest of them are total shit. Starting positions. You're pretty much only going to ever be starting as waiter or asado chef. Maybe sometimes shrine if you want to make things tricky for yourself. But there's really no reason to start shrine because they even put a frickin' suit on the map, a free suit that you can get that counts as a suit, so you don't even need to worry about ever starting suit because there's a suit on the map, and it's not even hard to get. It's like, man, they really, like, tried their best to make this map as shitty and as boring as possible, and they damn well succeeded. I gotta give them that. The exit spots, I already talked about how broken they are. The exits are freaking a nightmare. They're all over the map. They're so far away from each other. There's none of them that are even a little bit convenient. The only one ever worth going for definitely isn't the tango dance that I just said. That is, fucking stay away from that exit forever now. Ever since that Frody rip in the middle of a competition, after he exited Silent Assassin Green Guns, gets ripped 30 seconds in because a fucking body gets found while he's just sitting there watching the cutscene. He can't fucking do anything about it, so it's been a write-off ever since then. No more Tango Dance exit. The only exit worth going for at all anymore is Don Yates' car. And in order to get the car, you need to grab car keys from his villa. The car is in the villa area, so only a handful of disguises on the map can actually enter that area without trespassing. So it's just insane, man. Like, there's just so many problems I have with this map that aren't even roulette related, but they seriously impact a roulette match. And I gotta say, man, Hitman 3 as a whole, holy fuck. Between Dubai and Dartmoor, boring-ass little shit maps, you got incredible masterpieces with Berlin and Chongqing that are arguably 2 of the greatest maps in the entire trilogy, hands down. And then you got Mendoza and Carpathian Mountains, the final map. That's not even a map, it's just a straight line. So the last 2 maps are shit, the first 2 maps are shit. It's like, man, 2 out of 6, that's a third of the game is amazing, and 2/3 of the game is just garbage. I don't know, it really bums me out because Hitman 1 and 2 were such amazing masterpieces, and then Hitman 3 comes in and it's just a bit of a letdown. So here's hoping that the map that's coming out July of 2022 called Ambrose Island is, like, gonna be the tits, because this is like the last hurrah of Hitman 3, right? If this map ends up sucking, then IO Interactive is gonna have their hands full trying to, you know, rectify their mistake. You're gonna have a lot of pissed off fans on your hands, is all I'm saying. You know, people are gonna be a little irritated about that. So let's hope that it's a great map. I can't wait to do the What is Hitman Roulette video for that. It's gonna be sick. But until then, this is the final episode of the series, and it's kind of a bummer because we're kind of being left off on a low note until Ambrose Island comes out. So we'll see what happens with that one. Anyways, so there's my rant for Mendoza. You guys know I hate it. It's a garbage map. I cannot stand this shit, but it can be interesting at times. Oh god, even when it is interesting though, you still have the garbage bullshit to deal with, like the 12-second exit spawn points. So no matter what, whenever you step into Mendoza, even if it's your first time playing it, you are going to experience a glitch. It does not matter if it's your first time or it's your 8700th time. It doesn't matter. You're going to experience a glitch every time you play this map, because that 12-second spawn point for the exits is not supposed to be there. There's a reason it's only in this one map. It's not supposed to be there. So they fucked up with that programming, and they never fixed it. So, you know, it is what it is. That's probably the most irritating part of it, but, you know, like I said, there's a lot of issues with this map. I just listed off a bunch of them. I'm sure I can think of more. I'll say them when they come to my head a little bit later in the video, but until then, let's just move on to the starting spots. I already mentioned them, but fuck it, we'll go over them one more time. So for the starting positions in this map, the only two that are viable are Waiter and Asado Chef. You can really mix them up. It's up to you. With Waiter, you can isolate Tamara and get her into the flower bed and KO her in there, and then go straight up to Don Yates and isolate him, or, you know, KO his wife, and etc. and so forth, and then KO Don Yates. Really not that big of a deal with Waiter. With Asado Chef, you kind of go for Don Yates first, and then you'll need to come back to Tamara once she's sitting down with Diana at the table there and get her sick. It's really not that big of a deal, but both starting spots are really, really viable, and the only two worth going for. If you want to make things a little more complicated for yourself, and you want some enjoyment in the map, maybe start Shrine and see what happens then. Shrine isn't too bad. You got the parking lot that's not terrible, but it really isn't that great either, because Waiter and Asado Chef are so fucking good, and there is a suit on the map ready and available for the taking at any time. So if you ever see suit come up in a spin, you do not need to start suit. Still, just start Waiter or Asado Chef. They're just as good as each other, and they're way fucking better than any other starting spot on the entire map, bar none. Occasionally, I can recommend Gaucho for a really fast, easy Gaucho kill on Don Yates, because Gaucho for Yates is a little bit out of the way. It can make things a little more complicated if you have to KO Yates, then go get the Gaucho disguise, come back and kill Yates. I'd say if you see a Gaucho Yates kill, and the Yates kill seems fairly easy, something you can get knocked off right off the bat, that's when you want to start Gaucho and make a beeline right for Don Yates before he heads downstairs, once he's still talking to his wife up on the balcony there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Winery Worker sucks. You pretty much never see that starting spot unless you're doing some weird shit. And yeah, there you go. Starting positions in this map. Nothing special. Only use two of them or you're fucking up. Okay, and next up, let's talk target isolations. So first off, we're going to be talking about the Waiter starting position. At the very beginning, you can run up the stairs straight ahead of you here, and you're going to see Tamara, Diana, and a couple of bodyguards walking towards the stairs you just came up. At that point, you're going to need to run up to and continuously bump Tamara Vidal over and over until her bodyguard is far enough away that a throw distraction into this flower bed over here will only attract Tamara's attention. Now, you can choose to bring a bubblegum with you and just throw the bubblegum into the flower bed. Tamara will go into the flower bed and KO herself, and that gives you a few extra seconds to go up and deal with Don Yates. But otherwise, just throw something into the flower bed, wait for her to check out what's going on, and then KO her in the flower bed and run up to Yates. Either way, it's going to be fine. You'll have plenty of time to deal with him. Once you get past Vidal, you're going to head up these sets of stairs here that I just passed, and you're going to pass this frisk point. Here's another problem with Mendoza. Surprise, surprise, yet another glitch I forgot to mention. The frisk points in this map are completely broken. Totally broken. Not a single frisk point in this map actually works the way it's supposed to. Some frisk points are good, and they actually benefit you, like this one here, where you just run past these guards, and as long as you don't do anything funky and attract their attention, you're not actually trespassing up here as Waiter or Asado Chef. So you can just run right past the frisk point, go right up to Don Yates and start doing what I'm doing on screen here. Just start causing distractions for the guards in this room here. KO one guard at a time. Switch into a mercenary outfit when you get a chance. I like to KO both the mercenary guys and go up through these sets of stairs here. You can also go up to the balcony via the drainage pipe that you can climb up that's just around the other corner. Both are completely viable ways to approach Yates. It's really not a big deal. This is just the way I like to do it because it's more or less the same amount of time, and you get to deal with the mercenaries on the way too. Now, once you get up to Yates, you're going to need to KO his wife from behind her, but while Yates is actually within visibility. He needs to be able to see you KO his wife. Reason for that is, if he actually sees you KO his wife, he's not going to scream right away, which gives you enough time to punch him in the face and knock him out. But if you KO his wife, and he doesn't actually see you do so, he's going to scream, and he's going to attract the attention of the third mercenary that's just downstairs there. He's going to start coming up the stairs, and you're going to need to deal with him, either by stopping him or KOing him or whatever you want. But just avoid that entire scenario, save yourself some time, and just KO the wife while Don is looking right at you. Then punch Don Yates, and there you go. Both isolations done, back to back, in a row. Easy peasy, there's not a whole lot to this one. This is pretty much the standard kind of isolation that you're going to be doing for Don Yates and Tamara, because Don's cycle is ridiculous. He takes forever to get back up here and start talking to his wife again on the balcony, so you're better off for sure getting him on his first cycle. Tamara you can kind of deal with anytime. She's very fortunate in that sense. If you don't get her in the flower bed, you can always get her sick, as I'm going to demonstrate right here with the Asado Chef start. If you start Asado Chef, you're literally going to do Yates the exact same way you just did him with Waiter start, except you're going to be doing him first. Vidal will be the second target you isolate, and the way you do so is by opening this skylight here and standing in this spot here and taking your seeker and shooting her while you're standing just above. There's a lot of fake NPCs in this area, so you should be able to take this shot without being seen by any of the real NPCs as long as you're careful. Then head right downstairs and get into the bathroom and KO Tamara once she's puking in the toilet there. Be careful of her guard, because if her guard sees you enter her bathroom stall, he will get pissed off and you will be considered hostile and he'll start shooting you. So just be aware of him, and just be aware that once you do KO Tamara Vidal, he completely fucks off and it's like he's not even a factor anymore. So the sooner you KO her before he even enters the bathroom, the better. And it's just a better quality of life scenario there. So there you go. There is the target isolation methods for both targets. I don't really recommend doing them any other way, just because this is so much easier and allows for much more breathing room in the rest of the map. You can gather the disguises and the kill methods anytime you see fit, and you're pretty much free to go about the map at your own leisure at this point. So there you go. Target isolation's done. Alright, now on to the disguises. So, as mentioned earlier, there is a free suit on the map, which we're going to be starting this section of the video off of with. In order to get to the suit, it's just in a locker room right behind a mercenary standing in front of a camera that's behind a locked door to the left of the shrine entrance, or just past the secret passageway, exit, entrance, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They have to unlock your first time playing this map, and then it's unlocked forever. You know, those types of entrances or exits, whatever you want to call them. Head down through this pathway here and open this door that's locked. You can also head through this way if you're going to go through the sommelier area where all the barrels of wine are downstairs. You can get into this area the same way via stairway just past that section of the map right there. But basically just follow this pathway. It's just chilling on this little bench here. You're free to pick it up at your own leisure. And away you go. It's a scuba suit, pretty much just like the kind of suit that you'd wear as if you were starting Hawke's Bay for the first time. I don't know why that's here when there's no water as far as the eye can see, but it is what it is. There you go. Easy peasy, squeezy lemons. Now, for the Asado Chef, this disguise is total trash to try to get, so I would recommend just starting as Asado Chef if you ever see it pop up in a spin. I've already discussed how good of a starting location that is, so there really is no reason to ever start anything but Asado Chef if you see it in a spin. But if you do want to get this disguise, and there are two Asado Chefs on the map just chilling by the pork roast barbecue area there, you're going to need an emetic tool for this, and you're going to need to get them both sick by placing it right beside both of them. One of them is going to go off and puke by a railing over off to the side where a bunch of real NPCs are that can easily see you KO him, and that's the standard location for one of them to go puke at. If you only get one sick, that's where they go. That's why you need to get both these guys sick. That's why a tool is required, or two secret darts. Either way, like I said, this disguise sucks ass to try to get. And the other location is pretty much right by where you would isolate Tamara Vidal in the flower bed area. So KO that one that runs off to the flower bed. Once he's KO'd, bring him over to the flower bed where you would isolate Tamara and change your clothes there. There you go, Asado Chef complete. But again, there's no reason to need to know how to get this disguise, because no matter what the spin, you can always start in this disguise. And here's the other NPC, Asado Chef, that goes and peeks off in the shitty area. This spot is not ideal at all to try to get him, so just leave this guy alone. The bodyguard disguise is pretty free. You do have your pick of the litter of bodyguards on the map, as per typical guard disguises in every map. But the one that I recommend going for 99% of the time is this pretty much free one in the bathroom where you would isolate Tamara. There is another NPC pissing in the stall right beside where this bodyguard is, but just ignore him or KO him and then get rid of the bodyguard. Put him in the stall that's closest to where he was standing, just directly behind him. Switch your clothes, and away you go. The chief winemaker's in front of the vineyard at the very, very bottom floor of the winery area. You need to get down to the floor where all the winery workers are working, and you'll see a table off to the side where a banana is just chilling. You need to grab that banana and place it right in front of these wine barrels here. This is a really cool strat that I saw initially demonstrated by In4Fun, so much love to you, brother. Thank you for this sick strat. All you gotta do is place the banana down and then place something right in front of the window where the chief winemaker is looking into. Something like a coin or a phone or a bubble gum, anything that's going to catch his attention and make him walk around to the other side. Leave that there and just wait for him to walk around the barrels and KO himself on the banana. Then grab his clothes right behind the barrels and make sure that nobody's looking at the winemaker's body when you go and do this. There are NPCs around that can spot you doing this, so just be careful that there are no eyes on you and you should be just fine. Grab the disguise and away you go. Pretty easy strat, pretty sick strat. Love to do this one. Corvo Black is off to the side in the lounging area downstairs. He's just talking to the head of security. You just need to either seeker him from above like I'm showcasing here. He is quite far away, so this strat is a little bit tricky to do. You need to be a fairly decent shot. But he's not moving, so it's not that hard to land. Or you can just walk up right behind him and get him and the head of security sick with an emetic tool. He's going to be going into the same bathroom that Tamara goes in to isolate herself, so once he's there, just KO him, take his clothes, and away you go. There's not a whole lot to this one. It's just a bit of a tedious process because waiting for NPCs to get sick is a bit of a pain, and there's a lot of that going on in this map for disguises. So, there you go. The Gaucho disguise is probably the shittiest guard disguise on the map. Maybe tied with the bodyguard. They're not really that good disguises, either one of them, as far as guard disguises go. But there are two valid Gaucho disguises that I would go for 9 times out of 10. One of them is just outside of the villa where Don Yates is located. So you just head down through this area here. You go past this gate where you would be entering the villa from the flower bed section. There is one lone Gaucho carrying a loud shotgun just off here by the bushes here. You just need to trank him and grab his clothes. Nobody's going to be looking at you doing this, so you're just fine. Or you can just knock him out regularly and drag him into the flower bed nearby and change clothes there. You can just leave him here. Nobody should be walking over his pathway, so you should be fine. The other Gaucho disguise that I recommend trying to get is the guy that's talking to the winery worker just off to the side, right where you would go to the sommelier, but instead of taking a left towards the sommelier, you're going to take a right. And right there is going to be the two guys chatting. They're right below the security room. If you didn't bring a trank, although Mendoza's pretty lenient and almost always allows you to bring a trank, but say you didn't bring one, I'd say just cause a throwing distraction and walk up behind the winery worker, knock him out when the Gaucho isn't looking, and then KO the Gaucho. Diana and her guard do walk through this area eventually, so you're going to need to deal with the bodies somehow, but this is definitely the way to go if you want this disguise from this area. The head of security, or courtisan, is located exactly where Corvo Black is. He's actually just talking to him directly beside him, so pretty easy to locate. Is by far the best disguise on the map, hardly any enforcers, and can traverse pretty much the entire map for free. So definitely a great disguise, but it is unique, and there are 2 methods in order to get this disguise. All you need to do is either place a weapon behind him and bump into him and make sure that he sees the weapon, and then he'll take it away. This is the slightly faster method. Otherwise, you can just get him sick and let him go to the bathroom the same way you did Corvo Black, but it is a bit slower. I'd say the weapon method is the safest one because you don't need any resources for this, and it does save a few seconds, so might as well just go for this one. Follow him to the weapon box. As soon as he drops your gun in the weapon box, or right before so, just KO him. And if you want, you can KO the guy that's puking right behind you. You can box them both from here, and then change into courtesan's disguise, and away you go. It is a little bit different from the mercenary disguise, as he does have some chevrons on his shoulders, and he's got baggier pants. So there's that. But besides that, it looks pretty much identical to mercenary. However, it is a much better disguise. The lawyer is a unique disguise, and he's just chilling by a flower bed right in the parking lot area. So get on over there and get behind the cement wall where the lawyer is on the phone with Don Yates. There are going to be a bunch of leaves on the ground right in front of this flower bed here. And this very specific leaf right here, just take something and throw it right beside this leaf and right in front of the flower bed wall. You can just do the one throw distraction and then grab the lawyer as soon as he comes around to investigate if you're pressed up against the flower bed wall there. Or you can do a chain distraction and get him inside of the flower bed and then KO him in there as I'm doing on screen here. Leave him in the flower bed here. Change clothes, and away you go. There's not a whole lot to this one. This one can be a bit finicky. It can get you spotted sometimes, but if you do this right, exactly as I showcased here, you'll be fine 100% of the time. The mercenary disguise is very straightforward. There is nothing to it. You've already seen me grab a couple of mercenaries, so all I'm going to say, for this video is just grab the mercenaries that are in Don Yates' villa. The ones that I already showcased a few times in this video prior to this section. Grab one of those guys. There's 2 of them that you get to choose from, and away you go. Of course, you do have your pick of the litter for mercenaries across this map, but these ones are by far the easiest ones to get, and the ones I recommend pretty much 100% of the time. The Providence Herald is a really interesting disguise to try to get because it requires a very cool strat that we haven't really utilized a whole lot, especially in terms of disguises that we needed for this series that I've shown how to get. You should bring a phone with you, like a flash phone, and this is a strat that I learned from Chrome X, so 2 of the disguises in this section here are actually strats directly from Chrome X, giving me a hand with them. So big shout out to you, buddy. Thanks a lot for that. So the way that you're going to approach this is you're going to find a flower bed with a waiter just chilling right in front of it. This very specific flower bed. The waiter in front of it needs to be KO'd, so get rid of him first and put him in the flower bed. No big deal. Hey, there you go. There's a free waiter disguise, so you don't even need to be taught how to get one later in the video, but don't worry, I'll show you how to get another one that's a little bit easier. Once he's KO'd, then you just place the phone right exactly in this spot right here by this cacti. Place it directly on this little ledge here right by the cactus, and there's going to be a Providence Herald there off in the distance that you will have caught the attention of via triggering the phone to go off. Once it comes over where the phone is, KO him, dump him in the flower bed, and switch outfits. This is a way better and way faster method to get this disguise than getting one of the other Providence Heralds on the stairs over there sick or something like that. Definitely prefer this method overall. Saves you a lot of time. The Sommelier is the other disguise that Chrome X helped me out with, and this strat is fantastic for this disguise. It really shortens the amount of time you need to get this disguise, so big shout out again to Chrome. Thanks again for this, because this one is the big one. You're going to need to get down to the security area. There's going to be a computer off to the side with a bunch of numbers on it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to click on number 4 and activate 4. At that point, you're going to deactivate, I think, the air conditioning in the Sommelier area. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's going to get his attention. There's going to be a waiter in the room with the sommelier, but it's only going to attract the sommelier. He's going to come outside from where he's located, and he's going to start making his way towards the stairs directly behind the big wine barrel with the funky door handle there. Once he's past the wine barrel area, follow directly behind him and KO him. You can either trank him here or KO him. His body will never be found unless you make some noise. Grab his clothes, and away you go. Super awesome way to get this disguise. Cuts off like 30 seconds to a minute. Big shout out again to Chrome for this one. Really helped me out, buddy. The tango musician can be a real pain in the ass, but is also pretty straightforward. You just need to head up to the dance floor, and there's a very specific spot right under the stairs here that you're going to need to take a seeker shot on one of the musicians. You can't miss it where the band is playing. Everybody knows where they are, so just trank one of these guys with a seeker shot and get him in the bathroom. He's going to be isolating himself, like I said before, with Corvo Black and the head of security and everybody else that you can get sick in the bathroom over there in the same spot where Tamara gets sick. So KO him once he's sick, grab his disguise, and away you go. The waiter disguise we've already talked about while discussing the Providence Herald, and there's also the humongous fact that starting waiter is like the best starting location in the entire map, so there's no reason to ever learn how to get a waiter disguise, but in case you started a Sato chef and needed waiter, or whatever the case may be, there is a waiter that's just chilling in the area right behind the bar doors, right behind the barbecue area. So go behind the 2 big doors here, KO this waiter here. You can either choose to box him into the corner box over there or leave his body here. I don't recommend leaving his body here because Diana does come through here with her guards. So her guards will spot the body if he's left here. So just, trank him or box him and away you go. Simple as that. And finally, the winery worker. The best winery worker, and probably the easiest one to get, I'd say, would just be in the sommelier area, the one that's just talking to the gaucho that we talked about earlier, the second gaucho disguise method that I showed. So when you KO this winery worker here, just grab his disguise instead. Definitely the best way to go. There are other options like the winery workers in the theater room, etc., but this is by far the easiest and the closest disguise to everything. Just be aware of the fact that winery worker is not allowed in the dance floor area, so you will be trespassing up there, so it's not the greatest disguise when you need to try to get to Tamara Vidal in the flower bed or anything like that. And if you have her in the bathroom, just be careful of all the NPCs in the bathroom when you're killing her with this disguise on. But there you go, winery worker, no big deal, good stuff. Alright, and that does it for the disguises. So, we did have a pretty decent number of disguises on this map, and I gotta give it to Mendoza for adding a little bit of intrigue when it comes to getting the disguises. There are a couple of them that are a little outside of the box. You need some interesting methods to get them. A few of the disguises aren't just, run up to this random NPC, trank him, and take his clothes. You know, there's a little more to it for some of the disguises on this map, so I will give it to the map for having some creativity in terms of disguise snatching. But besides that, again, Mendoza sucks, but we're going to move on to the spin demonstration now. My favorite part of the video, and I can't wait to see what we get. Let's hope for an easy one so we can make this one nice and quick and get the fuck out of here. Alright, and so the spin demonstration, we are going to be killing Don Yates via drowning dressed as a sommelier. And Tamara Vidal's gonna be killed by having something fall on top of her face dressed as a tango musician. Damn. This spin, this is definitely anything but fast and piss easy. This is definitely one of the trickier spins I've seen on this map. For sure, Yates' live kill in a trespassing disguise where the villa happens to be is never a fun task to try to overtake, but thank fuck for the double seeker strat. That should be the solution for this one. And Tamara Falling Object is a fairly recently returned kill to the community. It was banned in Roulette Rivals for a while until, I believe, Roulette Rivals World Championships 2, or was it Roulette Rivals 6? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was World Championships. Anyways, pretty cool kill for her. I'm going to probably be doing things the slow boy way because I really don't want to rip on this one, as for the fact that this is a brutal ass spin. I'm opting to start in obviously one of the two good starting locations. I'm going to be starting a Sato Chef. I'm bringing a Seeker. I'm putting a Trank in the Villa Attic. I'm bringing a Crowbar and an emetic tool. And that should be all we need for this spin. Let's see how we do. Hopefully it's a one and done, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I ripped a couple of times, because this looks like a tricky bitch.
I tell you, whoever thought they were doing the world a favor by bumping off Rico
Alright, so first things first. Let's get up the stairs, past this broken ass first point, and go beat the shit out of Donnie Yates and his wife. Oh, 47, you rascal. Anyways, it sounded awful, but I mean, it kind of is what we're doing, so, you know, just telling it like it is. I do not condone wife beating, by the way. It's just a fucking game, people. It's just a game. Relax. Jesus. Anyways, so we're going to throw this Fabergé egg at the wall here in a second here as Don goes up the stairs. And I like dealing with these mercenaries ahead of time, like I said. Just get rid of these fucks, change into a mercenary disguise for free,
Do me a favor and see what's
and deal with Yates right after. You got plenty of time. So now I'm going to do this corner subdue on this prick here. It kind of drives me nuts when the SMG guy comes down to investigate, because the pistol guy is just the one you kind of want. He's in a little bit better of a spot. Or the SMG guy stands in a bit better of a spot for you to KO the guy. Whereas, which you'll see in a second here with this pistol guy, he's kind of on an angle. You see that? He's on a bit of an angle, so his head turns can be a bit of a bitch. So when he comes down to investigate, it's much more convenient. But whatever, it's fine. It worked out for the better. Now we're going to do the double seeker strat. Gonna get him sick twice for twice as long. And now I gotta go grab our calmer from upstairs in the attic. Grab these keys here. These are the car keys. They're just laying on his side table by his bed there. That's what you need to escape later. So don't forget those ever, because it's really the only good freaking exit position in the whole friggin' map is the car. So always get them car keys. Now you know where they are if you didn't know where they were before. Grab your stash from up there, got my calmer, and now I'm going to be headed down to the sommelier. So Jan Dates is already puking in the toilet, and he's going to be puking for approximately 2 minutes. So we need to frickin' motor, because by around the 4 minute and 10 second mark or so-ish, somewhat, probably between 4 minutes, 10 seconds, Yates is going to stop puking. We still have time to get him, to drown him, once he's done puking, because he stands by the toilet for a few extra seconds to wipe himself down and get his shit together, but you still got a motor. So we're going to do the sommelier strat here real quick that I showed a bit earlier. Thank fuck for this strat, by the way. Thanks again to Chrome, because this is way fucking better than going inside of the area where him and the waiter are, and actually getting him from inside there. You need like a screwdriver or some shit to get inside there. I mean, there's a screwdriver right here by the toolbox to our right, so you can easily access it, but it's still a major pain in the ass, and it's just so much faster. This shaves off like a good 30 seconds of getting this friggin' disguise. So, if it wasn't for this strat, this kill would be a bloody nightmare. And it's still a pretty huge nightmare. You need to be quick. You are not allowed to be a slow bitch here, because, man, I can't English today. Holy tits. I mean, what day can I really English, though? To be honest. But yeah, even with this strat, you still got to motor your ass up to get back upstairs in time to get to Yates. So it's not exactly the easiest kill in the world, especially with drowning, because you can only get him in one spot. You have to frickin' give her. Like, run your ass off. So yeah, make sure you go through the cellar area too, because the cellar area here where I'm showing is just so much faster. Do a bolt distraction so that the mercenary turns around. There you go. And you are going to get whooshed by the other mercenaries around there. There's 2 more in the corner there. It's fine. Doesn't matter what disguise you're in. You'll be fine running past that area and getting back up here. At this point, Yates is pretty much done puking. Watch out for his wife, by the way. She can be looking in your direction, depending on where she happens to be in her cycle. But he was almost done puking there, as you can see. So we got him. We got him in time. This is pretty good. Pretty damn decent for our first attempt anyways. I basically had this routed out in my head before we started the spin, so that makes it a little easier. Do a little extra planning, take a couple extra minutes just to think of the spin in your head before you actually go and try to execute it. And you can usually get most spins done first try if you do that. But, you know, there are always factors in each map, like certain NPCs that want to troll you that you can't account for all the time, so you just kind of have to do the best you can with planning the map in your head. Move that mercenary up to the stairs that I just moved him at, behind the wall there, because at the 8:30 mark, the lawyer and mercenary guy will be entering the villa area, and they will see that body on the stairs if you just leave him where I left him initially. So remember to drag his body up to the behind the wall there, if he did end up KOing him. Not everybody does KO both mercenaries. Some guys just KO the one. And perfect. So we're good to go for Yates. Now we need the tango musician. So get behind this area here where I showed earlier to take the shot for the tango musician. Very simple strategy to get him down. And in the meantime, we can now go get Tamara sick. This is a very emetic-heavy map. Mendoza, emetics are like your best friend in this map for a lot of disguises and target isolations and etc. and so forth. Emetics are the shit in Mendoza. Very similar to, like, Marrakesh. Mendoza and Marrakesh are the emetic city fucking maps of the trilogy, I'd say for sure. Just because it's so much more useful in those specific maps than in the majority of the other maps. I mean, emetics are always useful. I guess, no, you can add Haven Island to that list, too. You literally need a fucking seeker if you're going to do that map. But, you know, between those three, they're definitely the heaviest when it comes to emetics, so. But, you know, emetics are always good to bring regardless, just because they're, you know, they're fucking good. Who doesn't like getting people sick and getting free isolations? It's great. Good shit. So, there's Tamara's guard. KO him, then KO Tamara. She's gonna be on the stairs. She was heading down to the bathroom to go get sick. But we don't want her to get sick. We just want to KO her in this room, because we're going to bring her under a chandelier in a second. So the tango musician is now puking, and these bathroom stalls contain a few NPCs. I'm taking out this guy that was in the bathroom stall in the corner there, and this free bodyguard here, because he has the key card that I need to access the room that I was just in, where the security guys are and all that stuff. So there's the tango musician. Hope you had a nice flight, bitch. Take the key card that you just got off the bodyguard a second ago and open the door, and away you go. Now, we're home free. All we need to do is get Tamara and drag her under the chandelier that's off in the off to the corner in the cellar area. So, it's actually kind of weird how this works, but it does work. So, I mean, there's 2 ways to get Tamara falling object kills. The first way would be with very specific disguises like waiter or bodyguard or, I don't know, Asado chef. No, not even Asado chef. Well, yeah, I guess Asado chef later on in the cycle. you can use a flower pot and get her live. It's tricky, but it can be done. It's been done live in competition before. I think David Red Sox and In4Fun did it versus each other, the exact same strat, in a Mendoza match once, in I think Roulette Rivals World Championships. And this is the other method. This is the slow boy method, and it's definitely useful to know this because it's quite easy to get this to work. It just takes time is all. So you need to take these 3 guys out in this room, do exactly like I did here, and then you need to drag Tamara under this chandelier over here. I know it doesn't look like you can actually get the chandelier to kill her, but it's got a big ass explosion radius, so you should be fine. Just make sure that when you're dragging her into this corner here by these 2 chairs, right where the chandelier is, make sure that she's fucking like snug as a bug on your pug's favorite rug. Like, fucking get her up in this shit, and see what I mean? Like, get her as snug as possible, then shoot the chandelier, and it should be just fine. Oh, make sure you miss and scare it a little bit before you shoot it. There you go, perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself. Beautiful. So that's the kill on Tamara. Very nice. Now all we got us to do now is find the exit. See, look at that shit. 12 freaking seconds for the exits just to spawn. Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. So, we're at the 9-minute mark. The lawyer is in the villa by now, interestingly enough. So he definitely would have found the body, so it's definitely a good thing that I hid that mercenary body where I did. But there you go. Exit at the car there with the broken-ass mercenary disguise. One of the best disguises in the map. If not, maybe even the best disguise. I'd say maybe number 2 after Cortazar's disguise. There you go. Friggin' 5-star sound assassin, Sasso, 9/11. Oh shit, that's not most, whatever, we'll just, 9 minutes, 11 seconds. There you go, that's a better way to say it. Couldn't have done it better myself. Mendoza, thank fuck that's over. Holy shit, this map sucks ass. Alright, and that does it for Mendoza. We are complete with this series now. Every single map has been covered up to this point. Like I said earlier, a bit of a bittersweet ending because we kind of end off on a low note, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. Maybe Ambrose Island will save us and we end up getting a 20th episode of this series, and that map's going to end up being so super awesome and the greatest map in the entire freaking trilogy. Who knows? It could be. We don't know. It might be awesome. It looks sick so far from the images that we've seen. I can't fucking wait. It's like a Haven Island, Santa Fortuna, Berlin, fucking Cross. You know, I really dig it. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what we get for that one. But until then, like I said, this is the final episode in this series. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now. We'll figure it out. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this series as much as I did. I know I had a blast making it. Some of the episodes were a lot more fun to make than others. You know, I gotta be honest, Mendoza was pretty fun to make because talking shit about the map the whole fucking time, I mean, that's what I do. I love to talk some shit. It's my favorite thing. Even if I'm just joking, I still love talking shit. But in this particular scenario, I'm definitely not joking. Everything I said about Mendoza is 100% serious. I just had a lot of fun saying it. So, anyways, guys, wish you all the best of luck in roulette competitions. I hope this series serves you well. Hopefully we'll see you again in episode 20 when we cover Ambrose Island. But we don't know yet if that's even going to be roulette viable. It may not even be viable for roulette competitions. And if that's the case, everybody's heart's going to be broken. But, you know, we'll find out next month, I guess. So anyways, guys, until next time, whether it be Ambrose Island or a different roulette-style video idea altogether, I will see you then. And until then, for the last time in my What is Hitman Roulette series, I get to say, keep rocking out and keep gaming.